I don't know who this video is for, but it's for one person out there who's going through it, or it might be a lot of people. Whether you're going through health problems, right now, man, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. Hold on, before I even preface the video. There's a lot of people just suffering right now. Maybe you're trying to find your way to a new job, a relationship. Maybe you're trying to find the blessings in life, right? You're trying to find that next level. Like, you were promised this thing and you were told at this age you would get it, and you've been busting your butt. You've been trying even just to maintain a job, maintain status quo, right? Pay off bills, right? Move the ladder forward financially a bit. And it just hasn't been sinking in for you, right? Some of y'all are struggling with financial problems, right? Like financial stacking. Some of you guys are dealing with medical concerns, right? Some of you guys are dealing with health complications, right? Some of you guys are dealing with having no support system. You're trying to figure this thing out on your own, right? You're trying to figure out your calling, your purpose, meaning for life, right? And you're surviving this system that constantly needs you to work and kind of blind yourself with the pleasures of this world, or just 9-to-5 jobs or dead-end roles that really don't fulfill you. You're trying to find ways to pay back your credit. You're trying to find ways to pay back autoimmune diseases, hormone issues, right? And you're struggling. And then some of you guys have terrible family, right? Like terrible family, right? You're out here on an island on your own. I just want to give you people out there who's going through something a little bit of motivation, I hope, man. Never give up. Never give up. In the spite of everything, right? If you guys look back to one of my first videos that I ever posted on this channel, it was the same message. I was going through a season, this was like 5 years ago, where I was trying to figure out a way to like secure more income for myself. Didn't want to go back to school for it, was tired of paying these insane student loan fees, and I was just trying to find a way to move forward. And in that moment, man, I was so down because I've been paying rent since I was 17. Rent was due. I was barely, I was that week that I made that video, I wasn't eating much. And I just wanted to give some motivation in that time. And it's funny how like life has cycles. Sometimes you get ahead a little bit in life, you'll find like a season where, oh snap, you do pretty good and it's a good season and you're rocking a little bit, right? And then all of a sudden, economic times, hardships, job losses back to back will remind you again a little bit about suffering. I think the one thing I can tell you guys is that I'm very familiar with suffering. I can tell you about suffering all day. I can tell you about the feelings of it, the color. I can tell you about the how warm it is down there, how cold it is down there, and I can tell you a little bit about how difficult it is to get out of it. But the inspiration behind this video, guys, is just one thing. Whatever you're going through, right? Whatever you're going through, you just have to keep pressing forward and not give up, right? Persevere through the challenges and trials and tribulations of your life. This is easier said than done because, there's so many things that can make you just feel heavy. You wake up in the morning, you're just feeling heavy, man, just tired. You're training hard and you're putting in all this work, and it's like none of the reps are really counting. You're putting in all this effort, you're stacking all your chips, and it doesn't seem like it's making sense, right? But the main thing you want to do is every single day you wake up, you go to work, you go and you give it your absolute all every single day. You make that prayer to God, whoever it is that you pray to a higher power for, and then you just go back to town on the thing that you've been given, man, and leave the world with your cup being empty. Don't blame nobody, man. This is one thing I had to learn in my season of trial. Don't go looking for arguments. Don't go looking for people to kind of support you or give you a reason to validate your situation. No one's gonna validate it for you, so don't seek validation. Instead, man, go to town on the thing that you need to build. Go to town on the thing you need to develop. Go build that person, that job, that opportunity, the new skill set, the new career, the new relationship, and forget the past. Don't argue with people from your past, man. It's not going to solve none of your problems. If anything, it's going to aggravate and continue solving your problems. I'll tell you guys one thing. If you're not going to work, if you're not building a business, if you're not studying in school, if you're not working a job, then you're a freeloader, right? And I've got a lot of people who are actually in the category of freeloaders in society, but because they have nothing going on, they think that it's okay to start problems with me. Meanwhile, I'm in school, I'm working, technically I'm about to get hired for my second role, thank the Lord for that. I'm going to my job right now. I train every single day in the gym, and I'm trying to be a positive, uplifting member of society. And the ironic thing about that is, even in spite of all of that, it'll frankly never be enough, because I'll always have, in my certain situation, I always have to make up for the empty space of a lot of freeloaders that I have to support, right? And that's the funny thing about society. Sometimes you're building from a place where there's no handouts. You are your future. You are your legacy. You are the next thing. So in that, when you guys are coming with no parental support, no guidance, you know, nobody really giving you anything really, right? Nobody making you meals, nobody meal prepping your food, nobody taking care of your properties, right? When you got that, just remember that the beauty of your struggle is when you make it, you can remind people and let them know that you did this homegrown, you did this by yourself. And it can be hard and it can be lonely in that, because it's difficult when no one's supporting your mission. It's difficult when no one's rocking with your rhythm. But you have to believe, just the same way that Travis Scott started out with very little people in the concerts, you have to believe that one day you're going to be selling out record level stadiums. You got to believe that. You got to believe that from the trenches of the bottom, that there's a place to go to the top. And even if it's delusional, right? Like, you have to be willing to die in your delusion. You got to be willing to die in your delusion. When you come from nothing, and most people don't come from nothing. Most people come from some type of parental support. There's a few people that understand what I mean by nothing. I mean, your parents you pay rent. Like, you do things, like you've been paying, you buy your own food, right? Your car note, your insurance. That's what I mean by you come from nothing. That's the story here, right? So there's no support on this ride. And there has barely been. So if you come from nothing, then the only thing you can do is dream. Because if you stay swimming in the pound, in the water that you're swimming in and you're staying in, man, trust me, you're gonna find ample reason to be very down on yourself. That cigarette, like this guy smoking on the street, is gonna make a little bit more sense. That alcohol is gonna make a little bit more sense. But what you need is ammunition. You need to have belief that something good can come from your life. You're not going to smoke, you're not going to drink, you're not going to cheat nobody, you're not going to do wrong to nobody. You're going to become something. And the process, in order for you to become something, you're going to have to believe and keep moving forward with the scraps that you do have. And just hope that one of these days, one of those scraps ends up being gold. And not just a bit of gold. No, we're talking 24 karat solid gold, enough to the point where you can now completely change the very course of your bloodline. Until then, you're going to have to continue to be the outlier. And in spite of all things, calamities, bills, never-ending problems, do not give up.